Alright everybody, welcome back to my channel. This is something I'm going to try new in 2019 to see if people actually watch these kind of videos. This is my training footage from the 31st. Last day of the year, but first day of the week. Consisted of some dead bench, so I'm just going down to a dead stop, trying to keep tight the whole time. This has been helping my bench out quite a bit. I definitely feel stronger. I haven't peaked or tested or anything, but I definitely think that I'll be setting a new PR here pretty soon. This is all off-season programming as well, so it's a little bit all over the place, but all still good programming. So now we're doing some Z presses. These are moving so quick. Again, everything's RPE 7. Everything's trying to stay pretty light. I do have a problem with staying light sometimes. I think my perception of what RPE 7 might be is not actually what RPE 7 is. So here's doing some super not strict chins using the trolley handles that I have on the upright. Sorry, on the cross member between the uprights. So it's kind of convenient. This is where I store the handles, but they also work as pull-up accessories. Now some push-ups. So the pull-ups and the push-ups on day one of training are 25 to 15, 50 to 100, and I think the whole goal here is hypertrophy. You'd have to ask my coach. He knows more than me. So here's day two, doing some squats. So this is, I woke up and I thought I was feeling fantastic. And so I was like, all right, cool. So going for sets of 4, let's go ahead and just go to 335. For set 1, it went okay. Set 2, maybe not so good. Set 3, I dropped back down to 315. Definitely not really moving at RPE 7 type of speed. But still got the sets done, still got my reps in there. And these are high bar squats as well. I am traditionally a low bar squatter. Learning to do these has been an interesting experience. I feel like kind of a baby sometimes because I complain about the center knurling being so high on my back. It causes unwanted exfoliation. So then moved on to some sumo or alternate stance deadlifts. I got no personal beef with sumo, I just like to talk shit. Not a big fan of pulling sumo, but here's 385. Moving pretty good. I'm trying to be quiet as well. This training session actually occurred in the morning, probably about 4 o'clock in the morning or so. And my daughters are sleeping around that time, and I would hate to be that guy that wakes up his daughters while he's training. Then we move into day 3 of training. This is another morning training session. Been using the garage heater to get my smaller garage up to temperature really quick. Apparently there's some good music on. So we're going to be push pressing here. And push pressing, again, my upper body strength has definitely been going up quite a bit in the last 2 training cycles. My coach does a good job programming this. He knows that that's a sticking point for me. So a lot of push presses, using that body English, get more weight. I think that's, what, 195? And then the programming calls for floor pressing. But I have trolley handles, so why not use them? So I just set these up for neutral grip floor pressing, which actually takes a second to, for whatever reason, my right hand can always just get right into position, but sometimes I gotta help my left. These are heavier than they look. I know that it's only a 45 and a 35 on there, but the trolley handles actually weigh a bit by themselves. But I'm definitely liking the trolley handles as accessory tools. They work really well. And I enjoy having them. Like, just having them in the garage is kind of cool. You can do a lot of, like for my bench press setup, I can do dead bench and I don't need a spotter to do a lift off. So we move into day 4 of training. We got 365. This is a stiffish leg deadlift. And 365 felt really good. My upper back, my upper thoracic tends to come out of extension pretty easily. And you can still see a little bit of deflection here, but my coach has done a good job programming a lot of upper back movements, and it seems to have really pulled my deadlift into alignment. Mind you, these are stiff-legged deadlifts. But me being stupid, so that was an obvious RPE 7. That was a good set. But in Curtis's stupid mind, he jumps to 385, and then here's 405. Obviously not an RPE 7, but in my lizard brain, my dumb brain, I felt the need to pull 4 plates today. So here it is. I do get the set done. I think I called it an RPE like 8.5. But I felt pretty good. Then move on to some Ssb Box Squats. I'm squatting down to an 18-inch box. I think this is 360 pounds. I love squatting. Squatting feels good. I love using the Ssb. The Ssb feels good. And the box, actually going down to a box is new for this training cycle. I'm trying to keep tight and trying not to roll or like shift my hips back. I'm trying to just keep tight the whole time. It's been a learning experience. Trying to figure out how to actually keep tight when you're going to sit on a box. There's something about like when you know you're going to sit, you tend to rock backwards. At the lighter weights, obviously, it's a lot easier. But Curtis's lizard brain says, no, go heavier. You can do it. I'm also doing a lot of single leg compoundy movements. So these are single leg safety squat bar good mornings. These have been getting way better. There was when I first started doing these at the beginning of my off-season training cycle, I was doing them unweighted because it's just, I don't know what it is about this particular movement. I just could not maintain my balance. You can still see me struggle busting a little bit here, but for the most part, they're going a lot better. This looks like 100 pounds. This was my top set. Little bit off center there. With my right leg planted, it's definitely a lot better. My left leg planted is not doing near as good. But it's an entertaining day when these come up. And then it just calls for a row variation. I really, really love the Bartos I-beam grip attachment. It's an awesome grip attachment. And this is 180. And again, this isn't a Spud Inc. pulley system or anything. This is something I threw together with parts from like Ace Hardware and Lowe's. I just went and bought all the individual parts, all the cables. I have another cable that's longer because I think eventually I want to set up a 2 pulley system. So if I want to do like low rows or something, just haven't done it yet. Then we got Strongman Saturday. I'm super ashamed of myself because my camera battery died after my second event, and instead of just going inside and getting a new battery, I only have the log and the sandbags from today. So here's 200, and again, this is moving so easily compared to what it used to run. A little bit out in front of me on that second rep. That was like my 4th set. I'm doing 15 repetitions, try to keep it right on RPE 7. This is my top single from that training day, 220. Goes up pretty easily. And now we got the Sandbag Medley. So I was supposed to do 60 feet down and back with sandbag at quote-unquote RPE 7. Of course, I'm stupid, so I'm like, all right, cool, let's do like a medley where I'll run back and forth. And so that first bag, that green duffel bag, is 150 pounds. This is a 220 Cerberus bag that I only have loaded to 200. And so this one goes okay. I have to stop partway through to re-grip. I didn't really get a good grip on this thing before I took off. And that just took so much energy out of me. Plus, I know it doesn't seem like it, but I'm running pretty hard between these. And so now this big rogue bag weighs 250. And now we will proceed to watch me struggle to even get this thing to break the ground. I do eventually get it. You know, spoiler alert, I do eventually get the bag off the ground. And I carried it 12 feet before I finally just couldn't do it anymore. Definitely a little bit ashamed of myself. Kind of overshot this one. I don't know what it was though, because on the second set that you're going to see after this, I actually managed to get it and finish out the 48-foot length that was left over. This should not be a heavy weight for me. Like, this should be relatively easy, but for some reason I was just not having it today. I finish out the strongman days with a lot of reverse hyper, some face pulls, and then grip work. Today on what you don't see in the footage is my grip work for this day was the 3-inch beam deadlifts, and I worked my way up to a 135 single. I did a bunch of 5s at 95 pounds, and again, you just grip it, and the whole idea was pinch grip work, not rolling thunder or anything. But here we see, this is my second medley I ran. Move the camera for a better view. Got a better grip on the Cerberus bag. Almost run into the Rogue bag. And again, I'm lazy, so I just left the Rogue bag where it was, and I figured I would just move it the rest of the 48 feet that it didn't go on the first set. But you can see here, it goes up a lot easier, relative. Gripping these to move in a front carry is a new thing for me. Still learning how to do this. Strongman is wonderful like that. You have to constantly be learning what you're doing. But yeah, that's week 1 of 2019 in the books. So if you like this video, give it a like. Comment down below if you got any questions, and I'll see you next week.